Hi, I'm Kathy from Stitch It Together. Are you new to QMX? Well, I am too. So this morning I started using QMX for the first time, and the first hurdle that I needed to cross was, oh my gosh, I opened up my QMX library and there's nothing there. What am I supposed to do? And because I am a QCT user and I use it often, the process was a little different than I expected. So I thought I'd share this video with you to show you how to get those QMX files into, or those patterns into your QMX library in the same way that I did today. Also to note is that I have made this PowerPoint, and in it I will show you, if you have purchased a pattern, where in this process and these steps that you would want to start if you've purchased one from a vendor, because you can do that as well. But this is not meant to be an all-inclusive tutorial that teaches you every single thing about the QMX library, because I don't know that my own self. But this is just really meant to be a video for you to get those free patterns so you can get started with QMX. Another little note too is that initially this was my experience, and so my recommendation to you is I wouldn't download all of the patterns right away. You're going to want to get started, and really you only need a pantograph and a block to start with, and then you will probably want to go back and download the other free ones when you have more of an idea of how you want to organize these patterns, because you have that option as well in a way that you don't necessarily have when you have QCT. So, and which is a really good upgrade. I'm really, really happy about that. So those are just my recommendations. If you're new, is to pick one pantograph and one block pattern and start with that, and then go back when you have more of an idea of how you might want to organize your patterns, and you'll see that as we go on. So another thing to tell you is that I'm going to start with a PowerPoint. If you want this PowerPoint, I am going to leave my email address at the end of this, and you can email me and I will send it to you. You're most welcome to it. And I will do this PowerPoint, which will have written instructions. Then I'm going to go to the graceframe.com and show you how to actually do it. So let's get started. There's going to be several steps to this, and that might be a little bit confusing. And it was to me at first too. Hopefully it'll become clearer as we go on. When you have your QMX library, when you first open it, things might be empty. You might see the names of the files, but they might be empty at first. And so in order to get those free patterns, you're going to need to go to thegraceframe.com and use your username and password that you use when you registered your product. And this is going to be true also if you are purchasing from a different vendor. So let me just explain. The whole process is this. You're going to go to Grace Frame. This is just an overview. And you're going to find the My Designs tab. And you're going to then go to a library that will show you all your files that are in your, that you've purchased or that you're working with. Then you're going to need to download them to a separate device. Now, a word about this. You do not, the device that you're going to download onto, you do not need to do this on your QMX tablet. I am doing it from a separate laptop. And you're going to see that in the end, they will end up in your QMX library, no matter which device that you download them to. So for me, it made more sense, and I was much more comfortable to do it from my nice chair here and not be standing at my frame. And also it's going to save memory on on my QMX tablet. So you don't have to download this to the QMX tablet. You can do it from to another source. So anyway, so you're going to download your pattern. You're going to pick your pattern. You're going to download it, and then you're going to upload it again. I know that seems like, wait a minute, I just downloaded it. Why am I uploading it again? It's like there's this interface in between that will then eventually get everything that you've downloaded into the right, I guess, as you will, file format and put it into your QMX library. So it kind of looks like this. You have your patterns somewhere. If they are on the Grace Frame site, you're going to download them to your any tablet, any other device first. But then you're going to upload them, like Grace Frame is the middleman. And from there, they're going to go into your QMX library. So no matter where they start from, you're going to have your patterns, and they're going to be uploaded into graceframe.com. And from there, they will get to your QMX library, no matter what. That's the only way to do it. And how this is different from QCT, if you're like me and you're used to QCT, with QCT, you could import directly from another device, but that's not true with QMX. You're going to have to go through graceframe.com to get them to your QMX library. So let's go over the process. You're going to open up any browser on any device that you want. It doesn't have to be your QMX tablet. And you're going to go to graceframe.com and you're going to log in using your registration information. And then you're going to look for a tab called My Designs. And this is where all your designs are going to be. Now, initially, your My Designs file is not going to be the same as your QMX library. And that's because you could technically not even have them the same in My Designs. They're not going to go into QMX library until you go through this download process. So just be aware that initially these files are not the same. Your QMX library and your My Designs won't be exactly the same. So you're going to look for your My Designs tablet and you're going to look for the pattern that you want. You're going to find that pattern and on the right-hand side, there's going to be a download button. You're going to check that. Another menu is going to come up. From that, you have to pick your file format. You're going to want to pick SVG. Note, if you're going to a vendor and you're downloading from a private vendor, you want CQP. That's what you want to, that's a file format that you want. Then the file is going to save to your downloads folder of the device that you're on right now. So whatever that device that you're on, look for your downloads file. This is a helpful hint. I have created a special file in my downloads area called QMX downloads, and that way it will always open up to that file. You're going to scroll back up to the top of the page and you look for the little button that says Add Design. And you click on that. It's going to be two things. One refers to the picture stitcher and the other one is Upload Design. You want to pick Upload Design. So now another window is going to open. It has two sections. On the left-hand side, it has text information, and on the right-hand side, it has a box that you might have seen in other programs where you can either browse to your file or drag your file over to it. You want to select that and then browse to your file that you just downloaded. So again, you're going to go to your download file, and you're going to navigate or select that file and drag it, and you're going to want to click Open if you've used the browser button. Then you're going to need to fill out the information on the left-hand side of that page. And at the very least, you need to put in a pattern name, a designer, and the block type, and there'll be a subtype. I wouldn't be too concerned with what you're going to put in these in the beginning. You can always edit these. And in fact, when you get to the folder option, and initially, I wouldn't even select a folder or add a folder. Is if you're new, you don't really know how you want to organize your files yet. And I would wait on that until you have a better idea of how you want to organize them so you don't have to go back and delete later. So you're then going to select Save Design, but there will still be one more checkbox even after you've selected that, and it's going to be a category. And my suggestion is pick one that says QMX compatible, and if you need to change it later, you can. Once you do this, the window is going to close, and it's automatically going to go to your QMX library on your QMX tablet. So that is if your QMX tablet or your Android QMX tablet has the internet connected to it. If you don't see it right away, click on refresh and it should come on up there. So here is a summary. You're going to go to Grace Frame. You're going to log in. You're going to find My Designs. You're going to pick your pattern. You're going to download that file to whatever device you happen to be on. And then you're going to go back up to the top of that window and click Add Design. Then you're going to scroll and find wherever you downloaded that file to, and you're going to upload that design. You're going to save it along with some information. Then you're going to go and check and make sure that it made its way to your QMX library. So that is the abridged version of what I just did. Now I'm going to do it in real life. I'm going to pause the recording and then I'll open back up inside of graceframe.com. Okay, so here I am. I'm at the graceframe.com, and here's the login button. I'm going to save my information. Here we go. I'm going to log in. Once I do, you're going to see under my account, you have My Designs right here. That's what you want to click on. I'm going to click on that. And so here we are inside of where all your free designs are living, and anything that that you, I guess, are adding. If you have vendor designs, are going to be there as well. once you start doing that. But initially, you'll be looking at whatever is in this file folder and picking two. You want a block and you want a pantograph. That's my humble opinion. You should start with that. And so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and pick one that I haven't already downloaded. I'm going to go to the next page. I have about 5 pages of these. Actually, let me just go ahead and do actually, let me see. Which one have I not downloaded yet? Simple Star Continuous. This one right down here. I haven't done that one yet. So you're going to find the design you want. Here it is. Look for the download button. There's the little arrow that gets another screen. And you're going to pick the SVG. And I'm going to click on that. And this is going right to a file that I have specifically made for my patterns for QMX. It's inside of my downloads folder. The reason why I think that's helpful is that it's always going to open up to where you last were. So I'm just going to pick it and I want it to save there. So I'm going to say save. And now I'm going to scroll back up to the top of the page. And now I need to add my design. So if you have purchased a pattern from another vendor, this is where you want to start. So now I'm going to go to upload design. So here we are. And here's where you have some text information. And here's the file where you need to pick your file. And I don't think it really matters which one you do first, but you need to do both. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to browse for my file. It's going to open up to patterns for QMX, and that's great. Makes it very easy. I'm going to click on the pattern I want to upload, say open. And here it is, it's processing. And once it's done that, I need to add a few things. I'm going to say simple, I'm going to give it a name, simple star. And I'm going to say free grace pattern. And it is a continuous and it's an edge to edge. And I'm not going to click anything right here for a folder yet because I'm not really certain how I want to organize everything and I don't want to have to delete it later. So once I've done that, I'm going to click on Save to Library, but I won't be quite done. So I click on that and it says upload design and you have all these places, all these things that you can upload them into different categories. And for me, I'm just going to click on QMX compatible for the time being. I can always change that if I want to. Then I'm going to say done. Now, once I have done that, even though I'm on my laptop, as long as my QMX tablet, my little Android tablet that's connected to my QMX is connected to the internet, it should show up in my QMX library next. If it doesn't, you just push on refresh and then it should. Give it a minute and then it should. And so you are always going to go through this same process when you've purchased a pattern, or if you have purchased another one from a vendor, you would start with add design right here, and it would end up in this list right here. So if I go to the first page, that's how I did this design right here, Dazzling Diamonds, which I got from Pro Stitcher. I just had one that was a QCP, and I started from add design, and it came in here, and I didn't have any problem with that. So again, if you would like this PowerPoint, you can email me at stitchittogether@outlook.com, and I would be happy to email you the PowerPoint that I have. And my name is Kathie from Stitch It Together, and happy quilting.